Hi everyone, welcome back. Today let's discuss about GST, that is Goods and Services Tax. When we discuss about tax, we need to know what are the types of taxes. In India, we have two types of taxes, that is direct taxes and indirect taxes. Direct taxes are those that are levied on the income of individuals or organizations, and those are collected in the form of income tax or corporate tax, etc. And indirect taxes are those that are paid by consumers or organizations when they buy goods or services or both. Now the tax calculation. This tax calculation is being done on the cost of purchase of goods or services or both. When we discuss about GST, we need to know few of the important terms. That is dealer, cost price, list price, discount, selling price or the discounted price. A dealer is a person who buys goods or services for resale. And the cost price, the price which a trader buys goods. The cost price is the basic price. The next is the list price. The list price is the price at which an article is marked. It's also called as the marked price, printed price, quoted price, etc. Next is the discount. The discount is the amount that shopkeepers offer on certain percentage, and this is always calculated on the list price. The discount is always calculated on the list price. The next is the selling price or the discounted price. Selling price is the price at which the trader sells the goods. When the goods are sold without any discount, then selling price as well as the list price are same. One nation and one tax was the aim of the government to implement the GST, and the tax deposited with the government can be calculated as GST collected minus GST paid. And there are few points we need to remember when we discuss about the GST is a consumer cannot claim GST paid by him. Consumers cannot claim the GST. The next one, a person or the organization registered with GST can charge GST. Whenever we need to charge the GST, that person or organization should be registered with GST. And whenever we charge the GST number should be mentioned on the bill. And the GST comprises of CGST, SGST and IGST. CGST is Central GST and SGST is the State GST. And whenever the services that takes place within the state, then CGST as well as SGST is being paid, and the CGST directly goes to the central government and SGST goes to the state government. And IGST, whenever the goods are sold or the sale is happening between the states, from one state to the other state, then IGST is to be paid. And this IGST is divided within the state government as well as the central government. But in case of the transportation is taking place within the state, CGST and SGST to be paid separately. CGST goes to the central government and SGST goes to the state government. And SGST, when there are union territories, that is known as UGST, Union Territory GST. And the percentage of GST is, it can be 0%, 5, 12, 18, 28%, etc. These are the percentages of GST that should be calculated based on the different goods as well as the services. Let's understand more about GST. For that, consider a question. For the following transaction within Delhi, fill in the blanks to find the amount of the bill. So how the GST is calculated? As I have told you, the GST are of CGST, SGST and IGST. And we know that whenever the transaction is taking place within the state, that is intra-state transaction, CGST as well as SGST is calculated whenever the transaction is taking place within the state. And when the transaction is taking place or the services are taking place from one state to the other state, IGST is calculated. CGST within the state, that is intrastate, and IGST is interstate transactions. For interstate transaction, IGST is calculated. Now here, if you consider this question, you can see that the transaction is taking place within the state itself. That means within Delhi, within the state itself. So we can calculate each part of the question one by one. Here it is given that the MRP is rupees 12,000 and the discount percentage is 30% and GST is 18%. We need to calculate the discount, the selling price, CGST, SGST, IGST and amount of the bill. Here the MRP is 12,000 and the discount is 30%. So discount can be calculated by using the formula. Discount is equal to 12,000 into the what percentage of discount is given, that is 30%. So 30 by 100. So this is 3,600. So the discount is rupees 3,600. Now the selling price. As I have told you, the selling price is the discounted price. That means we need to subtract discount from the MRP or the list price to get the selling price. So the selling price is equal to 12,000 minus 3,600. That is the discount. When you subtract it, you will get this as 8,400. So the selling price or the discounted price is rupees 8,400. Now the CGST as well as SGST is calculated. It is given that the GST is 18%. Whenever the GST is given as 18%, CGST will be 9%, SGST will be 9%. If it is the transaction is taking place within the state, the GST is divided equally as CGST as well as SGST. If the transaction is taking place from one state to the other state, then directly we will be calculating the IGST with the given percentage. Here it is within the state itself. That is why CGST will be 9% of the selling price. And I have told you the CGST or the GST is calculated on the selling price. So it is 8,400 into 9 by 100. And that is equal to 756. That is the CGST, that is Central GST. And the SGST is also 9% itself, and that is also same as 756 rupees. Now, the next is the IGST. As we know, the IGST is calculated only when the transaction is taking place from one state to the other state. Then here in this case, this is happening within the state itself. Therefore, the IGST is 0, rupees 0. And the amount of the bill can be calculated by adding the selling price as well as the CGST and SGST. So when you add all these things, that will be 8,400 plus 756 plus 756. And that is same as rupees 9,912. So this is the amount of the bill. The amount of the bill is calculated by adding the selling price as well as the GST. GST means both CGST as well as SGST. So here the amount of the bill is rupees 9,912. Let's consider one more question to understand it more clearly. Find the amount of the bill. The transaction, good transaction is taking place, interstate transaction is taking place, and the GST is 18%. Here the goods, number of goods are 35 with 420 rupees is the MRP of each item, and the discount offered is 10% for that particular item. And the second item, that is of 600 rupees each, and the quantity is 47, that is 47 in numbers, and the discount is 10%. The next goods cost 350 each, and the quantity is 20, and the discount also 20 percentage. So in this case, we have to calculate the discount offered for each item, the selling price, and the total selling price. Here the discount is 10 percentage of 420, that is 42 rupees is the discount for each object. And here it is 60 rupees, 10 percentage of 600 is 60, and 20 percentage of 350 is 70 rupees. So this is the discount for each object. Now we need to calculate what is the selling price of each object. The selling price can be calculated by subtracting the discount from the marked price. When you subtract 42 from 420 is 378. This is the selling price or the discounted price. The first object is 378, and the second one is 540, and the third one is 280. These are the selling price. Now we need to know the total selling price. Here the total selling price is obtained by multiplying the selling price of one object with the number of objects. Here 378 is the selling price of one object, and that into 35 into 378, and that is equal to 13,230. And here this is 47 into 540, and that is same as 25,380. When you multiply 540 with 47, we will get this as 25,380. And the last one is 20 into 280, and that is same as 5,600. Now we need to calculate what is the total selling price. We need to add the selling price of each object, that is 13,230 plus 25,380 plus 5,600, and that is same as 44,210, and this is the total selling price. Now we need to calculate the GST. Here the transaction is taking place interstate, that means from one state to the other state. So we have to calculate the IGST, and we know that IGST is 18%. It is given that IGST is 18%, and that is same as 44,210 into 18 by 100, and that is equal to our total GST will be 7957.80. So this is the total tax to be paid for all these objects. That is 7,957.80 is the total tax to be paid, and amount of the bill is, we need to add this tax to the total selling price. So this is same as 52,167.80. So here the total selling price is 44,210, and the tax IGST is 18%. We got it as 7,957.80. So the amount of the bill is calculated by adding the tax to the total selling price, and that is same as 52,167.80. Now this question is for you. You have to solve it and let me know the answer. Look at the question. Find the amount of the bill for the following intra-state transaction of goods or services. GST rate is 5%. This is taking place within the state, intra-state. And here the quantity, MRP of each item, and the discount percentage is given. And the discount percentage is given. You need to calculate amount of the bill. Here the GST rate is 5% each. Therefore, CGST will be 2.5% as well as SGST will be 2.5%. Here CGST and SGST are applicable since the intra-state transaction is taking place. That's all for today. We'll meet in the next class with more sums on GST. Thank you.